Good evening, folks. Tonight we're going to be solving division equations. Before we do that, let's go ahead and start off with our trivia question for the day. How many times can you fold over a single piece of paper? I'm just talking about a standard 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, maybe even a little bit bigger. All right, I'll give you the answer to that question after our instructions tonight. Officially, our target is I can solve division equations using inverse operations. Let's dive into a word problem right away. This is about my son Casey. Casey divided his 47 brand hat collection evenly on 3 walls of his bedroom. Write an equation that represents this situation. Use the inverse operation to isolate the variable and determine how many hats he has in his collection. Whoa, that's a mouthful. First of all, and most importantly, 47 brand hats. These are awesome. That's all I ever wear. So if you see me wearing a hat, it's a 47. My favorite is the franchise because I can wear them forward or backward. All right. Anyway, he's got this hat collection. So here it is. Here's this hat collection. He divided it amongst his 3 walls, and there's 15 on each wall. Well, you can kind of already figure out that there's 45, but how do you prove that? How do you use the inverse operation to isolate the variable and determine how many hats he has in his collection? Well, what operation is this? What was that? That's right, division. So we're going to undo division with multiplication. First of all, there's going to be 3 steps for every one of these problems tonight. You're going to be sick of these steps by the end of the night, I promise you. First of all, we're going to rewrite the problem. Instead of writing it with this slash like this, we're going to write it as the good old-fashioned fraction. C divided by 3 equals 15. Here's the collection divided by 3 walls, 15 on each wall. Then we need to get rid of this number down here. We want to get C by itself. We want to isolate it. So the way you get rid of C divided by 3 is you multiply it by 3. You multiply it by 3 on this side, and you multiply it by 3 on that side. See the little dot? I like using the dot for multiplication. If you put an X in here, it looks like another variable. So it's just a good idea to use the dot. All right, now when you multiply, you have you have a 3 in the numerator and you have a 3 in the denominator. These 2 3's cross off, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Which is left on this side is just C. What's left over on this side is 15 times 3, which is 45. Look how I've got all my equal signs lined up right down the line. Here's my equation. I could put railroad tracks in if I wanted to. Let's check my answer. 45 divided by 3 equals 15, and we are happy and ready to go. Let's take a look at our vocabulary today. A division equation is simply an equation where division is the operation. Here's another one here. R divided by 4 equals 3. Here's step 1. We're going to rewrite this guy, number 1. We're going to write it as a fraction. R over 4 equals 3. It's just so much easier to see and work with. We're going to multiply both sides by 4. We got to get rid of this 4, so we multiply by 4. We don't like the opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. So those guys cross off. We're left over on this side with 3 times 4. R equals 12. I can move this guy up here so that my equal signs line right up perfectly. All right? All right, now in a nutshell, when you're working with an equation here and you got an equal sign, you've got something on both sides. As long as you multiply this by the same number, other than 0, on both sides, you're going to get the same equation. It's like, remember on the fraction, whatever you did on the top of the fraction, you had to do on the bottom of the fraction. Same thing over on the equation. Whatever you do on this side, you have to do on that side. So multiplying by 4 in this situation helps us get rid of this 4 divided by 4 and isolate this R. Then we can figure out what it is. All right, still a little fuzzy. Let's take a closer look, because a lot of kids will say, yeah, but I don't get the cross out stuff. We'll do it again. Here's R divided by 4 equals 3. I just rewrote it as a fraction, a different fraction. Instead of using that slash, I used a real fraction bar. R divided by 4 equals 3. Easier to see. Now, I have to get rid of the divided by 4, so I'm going to multiply 4. But what I'm really doing here, sorry, let me just move these guys aside for a second. What I'm really doing here is I'm multiplying by 4 over 1 on this side and 4 over 1 on this side. Now, that's where you can see that the 1 and the 1R, there's only 1 there, right? The 1's cross off and the 4's cross off, because you've got a 4 in the numerator and a 4 in the denominator, a 1 in the numerator and the 1 in the denominator. We cross-reduce to get rid of those. That leaves us R. That's all that's left over here is a whole R. If you don't believe me, let's multiply it. What's 4 times 1? 4. What's 1 times 4? 4. What's 4 divided by 4? 1R. There's your R. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 1 over here, there's your 12, the closer look. So we're just touching on multiplying fractions here, and we'll get into this more later in the year, but we just need to know that those cross off right now, and we just multiply this side. You have to show that step though. All right, let's take a look at one more problem, then we'll cut you loose. W divided by 3 equals 2. What do you suppose we're going to do? Number one, we rewrite the equation. W divided by 3 equals 2. We rewrite it. Okay, now we've got to get rid of this 3 so that the W is by itself. This is divided. We do the opposite. We multiply. This time I chose to use parentheses to show the multiplication. These guys are going to cross out, leaving just W. On this side, you still have to do the 2 times 3, which is 6, and we can check our work. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Some kids just go right up here, and they just put the 6 right in up here where they started with it. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And that would work if you like that way of checking your work too. All right, 2 problems for you. Pause problems. Go ahead and give this one a shot. Okay, let's see how you did. Number 1, did you rewrite it? W divided by 6 equals 5? Good. Okay, did you multiply both sides by 6? Did you show the crossouts? Really important. You had 5 times 6 on that side. Did you get W equals 30? Did you check your work? 30 divided by 6 equals 5. Bam! We are done. All right, let me try one more problem here. All right, how about this one here? T divided by 8 equals 4. Go ahead and pause and give it a shot. Okay, let's see how you did. Did you rewrite it? Good. Did you multiply both sides by 8? Did you get T equals 32? Did you check your work? 32 divided by 8 equals 4. Yeah. Again, we're using simple problems for these. I know you can do them in your head, but we're learning the process. It's not about the answer. It's about the... Go ahead and shout it out. I know you know the answer. It's not about the answer. It's about the process. Nice job. All right. There's always a yeah, but this one's backwards. So what? 10 equals F divided by 4. We can rewrite it. We could have the answer over on the left-hand side. We're still going to multiply both by 4 because we need to get rid of the 4 in the denominator so that we can isolate the F. These cross off. Got 40 equals F. Check your answer. 10 equals 40 divided by 4. Bam. We're good. All right. Take a look at this one right here. Use your tickets to the show. 2 problems to work through. One with the division sign, one with a slash instead of a fraction mark. Same thing, but just written weird. Go ahead and make sure that you rewrite those. Make sure you multiply and show us your answer. Okay, trivia question. How many times can you fold over a single piece of paper? Well, if you take a standard piece of paper or even a large piece of construction paper, no piece of paper can be folded more than 7 times, a normal size piece of paper. Now, I know Mythbusters did this, and they got a steamroller out and a piece of paper the size of a parachute or something like that. But no, standard piece of paper, and I know you're all going to bring me a piece of paper tomorrow and try to show me you can fold it more than 7 times. You cannot fold it in half more than 7 times. So each time you fold it, you have to fold it in half. You do that more than 7 times, I'm going to be impressed. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.